Well, this is a very special edition, on-location edition of the Final Jumpshot podcast, and I'm joined now with one of the legendary coaches in Northeast Arkansas in the house that he built, soon to be named Buster Campbell Court. Coach Buster Campbell with me. Coach, I appreciate you taking time to visit with me.
It's always good to talk to you and talk about high school basketball.
So let's jump right in it, Coach. Recently, you crossed the threshold of 1,000 wins for your career. Congratulations on that.
Took a long time to get there, but we're there.
50 years, 1,000 wins. You know, you're in rarefied air now.
Yeah, I think there's 7, and I don't know. I mean, this is just what a guy told me that's pretty good with stats. He checked the deal, and he seems to think that Morgan Gilbert and I are the only 2 guys that did it with strictly boys teams. Mm-hmm. You know, some of the others coach boys and girls at the same time. And I don't know if there's anybody that's done it at the same school. And I mean, it's been 2 different schools, but it's actually Caraway and, Lake City consolidated in 85. I was at Caraway from 75 to 85, and then they consolidated into Riverside. So.
Yeah, and that I did the same research, and I found the same thing, that you 2 guys were the only 2 that I could find that had done it exclusively coaching boys teams. So, let's back up to the other night when that game happened. What's the first thought in your head when that buzzer went off?
Just kind of relief. We started the year, 3 short. We won. We needed to win 33 last year, and we won 30, and we lost 4 games by 1 point. So we had a real chance to, could have easily got it last year. And I kind of wanted to just go ahead and get it out of the way,
Sure.
And the kids. But one of the things that really tickled me about it was the kids on this year's team. They were, when it was over, even before we shook hands or anything, they all came by to me and congratulated me, and that's kind of like getting another paycheck. So
yeah.
It was, they were excited, and that's what it's all about. Those kids, and they were very excited. I was kind of relieved, and it really didn't hit me till we were coming, on the bus ride home, and I thought, man. That's a bunch of ball games.
That is.
That's a bunch of games, and I'm tickled. But I didn't score a point. I had a lot of good players. That's what got us at 1,000 wins. I had a lot of great players and a lot of good tradition. Caraway had a proud tradition. Riverside's got a proud tradition, and the parents and good supporters. These people have been great, and it was just I was really kind of humbled after I thought about it.
Yeah,
because I didn't do it. I mean, like I said, those kids and those players and my family. It takes a lot of support to stay somewhere and be somewhere for 50 years. And to get that many wins.
Well, and I'm glad you brought up your family too, because the impact of being a coach in itself and the amount of time that you're away from home has a direct impact on the home life.
Right. And we kind of handled that different than some folks that they came. I mean, when the girls were little, they got on that bus and raised Cane. Coach Hall would try to straighten them out and said, "Watch me waste my time." So sit down, girls, and be quiet. But they've just always been a part. I didn't miss them that much because they were there with us, and I think that was a big help. My wife's always been very supportive. It's tough being a coach's wife.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you don't know where to sit in the gym because the opposing fans are going to be on you, and then the others. I got a good story. My oldest daughter, Christy, but we were playing in the Williams Baptist tournament, and there was a guy behind her that kept on calling me fat, bald, and stupid, and she finally got enough, and she turned around and she said, "That's my dad." And said, "He might be fat and he might be bald, but he's not stupid." And I said, "Well, thanks, Christy, I guess. You defend me a little bit."
That's good stuff. So on the night of the 1,000th win, things almost took a scary turn. I saw some video from the locker room, and the boys were waiting to kind of spray you down with water bottles or whatever, and I'll let you kind of take it from there.
Well, I thought about it earlier in the day. I said, they're going to get me, if we win. And I kind of forgot about it. Then I started in, and my little grandson was there, and I asked my daughter where he was. I asked Linda, where's Canton? I want him to go in the dressing room with us. She said, "Well, I don't know where he is." And then I kind of thought, uh-oh. And then I thought, they're going to get me. Well, we opened the door, and there was enough water. You could have floated a boat. and I'm not a boat. I'm more like the Titanic, And I hit that water, but then one of the kids fell in front of me, and I went sprawling, and I thought, oh, here we go. I'm going to break my back here in the dressing room. And I rolled over, and some of them they were doing water and silly string. They were shooting the silly string at me. And they were still shooting it at me when I was laying on the ground. And I told them I should call a record and get me up. And about 4 or 5 of the kids helped me up. I was fine. Wasn't even really sore the next day. So I made it all right. But it could have. It was kind of funny. I think it scared the kid that fell. Fell on, because he was one of our bigger boys. Thank goodness. So, but it was kind of funny.
I don't know. I might have to blow you for the charge on that one, Coach. It looked like he had his feet set.
He had his feet set. Yeah.
So 50 years. Mm-hmm. Does it feel like you've been coaching that long?
No, not at all. I mean, I get tired. A lot of people have heard this line, but I always, it's not like a job. I got out one year and worked in the family business there at the Jonesboro Auto Auction, and I was looking at my watch every day. That was a job. And at this, it's kind of almost like a calling. I mean, I think you got to love it to stay with it. But the kids keep you young, and no, it feels like it's flown by. I've said this many times. I'm still wondering what I'm going to do when I grow up, because all I've ever done is go to school and coach. But like I said, it's been I wouldn't trade places with folks. I mean, everybody would probably like to be a professional athlete, but I mean, maybe that would have. But anything else, I think best job in the world.
Yeah. What would you say over the 50 years? What's the biggest change in the game that you've seen?
Well, the 3-point shot, was a big deal, and the way we played, the way we've always played, the shot clock was not a big deal, but it was because a lot of our opponents use that shot clock a lot. I mean, a lot of my buddies, I used to aggravate them. They'd talk about their defensive, how good they were defensively. I said, no, it's not your defense. You don't ever shoot the ball. That's how you keep those points low. And I'd aggravate them because we like to play up and down. And but that's been the 2 biggest changes. The kids, I really feel this with the training they get and the weights and everything that's going on. They're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger. I'm not sure we've kind of suffered a little bit on some of the skill, but they get so much instruction and everything. I'm just going to be honest. When I first started coaching, there were in '75. There was a lot of guys. They were coaching because they came up and said, "Hey, you're going to coach boys basketball this year.
Right.
You're going to coach girls basketball." Well, the first girls basketball game I ever saw was when I started coaching. I'd never seen a girls basketball because they didn't have it in Arkansas at that time, and then it was 3-on-3 for 1 or 2 years. But there's been a lot of changes. But the kids actually they've got more distractions now. I mean, there's so much other things they can do, and that. But I just think they're bigger, faster, and stronger athletes. But the skills probably changed a little bit, and just toughness level. Used to, you didn't have to get junior high kids in shape because they were always, But now you got to get them in shape starting in the 4th grade because they got those thumbs in shape.
Oh yeah. It's my kids do their thumbs are in great shape, but the rest of them is a little iffy.
Right.
But so you mentioned kind of the kids and changing a few things there. How's the coach-player dynamic changed?
Well, I'm just old school. I've been old school since I started, and I'm still old school, and probably couldn't coach a lot of other places, but I think kids still respond to discipline and working hard, and they kind of know it's a little easier being here because I coach their dads. I've coached their granddads. I have 4 or 5 kids that I coach their grandpa. Coach Hall's always afraid. He says, I can just hear you, Coach, because you're going to get mad one day and you're going to say, hey, son, you can't play defense. Your daddy couldn't play defense, and your grandpa couldn't play defense. So, he keeps me straight. I want to brag on him too. He's been with me 30 years, and I don't think I could have lasted without him. Oh, I know I couldn't have. I mean, we fit together, and what he likes to do more, I like less, and so he does certain things and I do certain things. We're more like co-head coaches almost.
30 years that you've had the same guy by your side. I mean, it's one thing for a coach to be coaching for 50 years and essentially at the same place for 50 years, but to have the same assistant for 30 years, I mean, that's just another element of it that is just almost unheard of now.
Well, he says he gets a get out of hell free card for being with me for 30 years. And he says my wife gets one too, so
yeah.
Whatever. But it's funny, he got the first award they gave to the assistant coach in Arkansas. Okay, they gave it the number one assistant. I don't know what year it was, but the first year they ever gave the award, and he got it. And the guy, when he called Coach, he said, we were looking through that. When he called Coach Hall, he said, we were looking through the applicants. And when we saw you'd been with Coach Hall with Coach Campbell for 20 years, one of the guys said, we got a winner.
Oh, that's good stuff, Coach. All right, let's go down memory lane a little bit. What are some? I've talked to a lot of different people on this podcast, players and coaches, and they all say that the losses stick with them more so than the wins do. What are some wins or losses that might have been 30 years ago that stick with you?
Well, we were state runner-up in '89, and had a chance. We were on the free throw line with a minute 10 left, I think, and had a 1-and-1. And we had came from like 20 down, and I really felt like if we ever took the lead, we were going to win it. And we were playing Dermont, and they had some guys that I think they'd voted in 2 or 3 elections. They were not. They didn't look like high school boys, and we missed the front end of 1-and-1. I really felt like we'd made both of those and took the lead. We would probably finish it off and won. And we missed them, and they come down and hit a shot, and we had to foul. We ended up getting beat 5 or 6. That was a tough loss. We just had a tough loss last year, here in the regionals to ICC, and but yeah, you don't need to get, but you kind of create your own monster. And I've heard coaches say, "Well, I hate the losses more than I like the wins," and you've got to be careful because it's high school. We forget sometimes it's high school basketball. I mean, these kids are wanting to have fun. They're not going to make it. I mean, the percentage that are even going to get a college scholarship or go on to make a living is just minuscule. And it needs to be fun. But I mean, we all want to win. I mean, as a coach, I think my biggest strength is not in the X's and O's and not in it's just that I don't like to get beat.
Yeah.
And I try to instill that in our kids. And sometimes I've been successful in doing that, and sometimes I hadn't. But, big wins, that when in the NEA tournament, when we beat BIC, we beat Earl in the state semifinals that year I was talking about. And when they had Arthur Cheers that played at ASU.
Yeah.
And we've had some big wins. We beat Cedar Ridge. Now, this was before the Reeves boys, but they were funny story. One of my managers was Jeffrey Wisham, who's passed, and great guy, 6'4", probably 300, and we were going down to play them, and they were 38-0. We played them at Cross County. I'll never forget it. And we beat them, and then we were in the hallway there after the game, and there was fans from everywhere all over, and he says, "Well, now they're 38, and uh-oh." And I thought, "Jeffrey, you're big enough to say that, but we might ought to go get on the bus. There's a bunch of them here." But that was a big win. There's been so many. I mean, really, they run together. I mean, I could, if I just sat here and kept thinking, but that's some of the big ones. And some of them were ones that wouldn't even be on your radar, that just by teams. I've had this happen a lot of times. I've had a team that was really good for 2 or 3 years, and the kids that have sat on the bench for sophomore and junior years, and they finally get to play as seniors that probably shouldn't have won 10 games, but they'll win 20 because they think you're supposed to. It's ingrained in them, and those are big wins. And the ones that these kids just, you see them get better as the year starts, and you say, "Hey, guys, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. It's just going to take a while." And those are some of the most satisfying wins.
How good is that feeling as a coach when you see a kid that, may not have the most ability in the world, but he plays his heart out. And then you see the light bulbs start to slowly come on, and then by the time district tournament or regional rolls around, he's as bright as a spotlight.
Oh yeah, well that's one of the rewards you get. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, we're not doing it for the big bucks,
right?
You know, and it just seeing them grow up. I mean, you know, I've had, well, like I said, Friday night we're going to have the deal where they name the court after me, and we've been calling players all week and getting people, and I'm really hoping a lot of them show up, because that's one of the biggest rewards is when they come back and talk to you and you know, say, hey coach, I wish I'd listened to you. I said, well, I do too. But it is big. And a lot of them and their messages, you know, have just been, oh coach, man, that's great and congratulations, and that makes you feel good, warm and fuzzy, and you know, and of course, now, you know, I say, you know, you guys like me now. You know, I guarantee you, if they'd had a vote, you know, when they were in school after practice, I'd have probably got fired 4 out of every 5 days. So, but they kind of like you a little better after they're gone. And then they come and tell you, you know, you're getting soft. You don't, you know, you wouldn't let us do that. You know, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I bet it is. Well, it's, you know, the testament of, you know, the players that come back and talk to you like that. You know, you talked about how much of a reward that is. I think, and I could be wrong on this, but I'm extremely biased towards small schools. Mm-hmm. I think you see a lot more of that at the small school level than you would at a 6A, 7A type school.
Oh, definitely. It's even more, you know, those are getting now to where, especially, I don't know if you notice in the Little Rock schools and in Northwest Arkansas, the kids that the transfers every year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the NIL in high school, and that's coming. You know, I mean, well, it's already here, you know, in some states, and that's definitely. This is a great size school. You know, now there's some things we don't have, you know, that some of the larger schools do, but then there's some things we have that they don't have, like you said, that camaraderie that you get, and because we care about them. I mean, they know us, we know their families, you know, we raise our kids with them, and and you know, it is a different deal.
Well, in a lot of instances, you know, you touched on this, you helped raise the parents now, you know, the ones that are parents and grandparents, you had a hand in that, you know, because they played for you.
Right.
So it's just different. And I've had some friends that I've told about this, college buddies and friends now, you know, we talk about high school basketball, and, you know, we talk about where we went to school, and some of them have gone to, you know, the bigger 5, 6, 7A schools, whatever. I explained where I went, and how small it was, and their mind is just blown. It's like, well, what did you do? You know, and like, look, guys, there's nothing I can say that's going to help you understand it if you didn't experience it. But the small school basketball in the state of Arkansas is it's a different breed. Yeah, it
is. It's just well, that's their life. I mean, man, when I was in high school and playing at Westside, I mean, they packed that gym every night. I mean, we were, you know, people would come up to us, you know, and support us and want to buy us lunch for us, you know, and stuff, and do things, and the community gets behind you, and you lose some of that in the larger schools. I mean, they have some other advantages that we don't have, but there's I'd rather be at a small school, and I'd rather my kids be at a small school.
So you touched on when you were in school. Let's go to Buster before you became a coach. So you've seen consolidation on several different levels. So elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, those are familiar. I actually started school at Herman, which is where the bus shop is now at Westside, and there was a 3-room school there. And I'm really letting my age go here, but and there was 3 rooms and 6 grades, and they'd work with us a little while, and they'd give us an assignment and work with the other half, you know, the other grade. There was 2 grades, and so I did that till the 5th grade. And then they sent us to Bono, and went to Bono through the 9th grade. Chester Barner Jr. coached me in the 9th grade at Bono. Okay. And then Ray Scott was our coach when we went to Westside. I was a sophomore when Westside started. And the story I like to tell that, I mean, at Herman, I went there through the 4th grade, and I can't remember the name of any of my teachers, not one of them. But I can remember the lunchroom lady, Miss Maggie, Miss Maggie Slavens. My wife says, "Well, that's no surprise to her," but that's where I started, and so I went through the consolidation with Bono, Cash, and Egypt, and that was, as far as the kids, it was smooth. I mean, there was within 2 weeks we were West Side, you know, and then when I started coaching, it was in '75. I went to Caraway, and then '85. There was all kinds of things going on. I mean, at first it was going to be 5 schools. It was going to be Manila and Leachville and Caraway and Lake City, and I'm leaving one out.
Monette.
Monette. How would I leave Monette out?
Yeah.
Our biggest rival. But they were talking about doing that at Hancock, which is just a curve, I guess, somewhere, and having all 5 schools. And then Manila, they kind of pulled out, and then Leachville and Monette tied the knot. So then Lake City and Caraway, they formed. And really, I thought it should have been a Monette, Caraway, and Lake City at Black Oak, and central location. Everybody keeps their elementaries, and we would have been at that time, because I was, coaching. Had been coaching 10 years, and we thought that'd be about the size school in Nettleton. I mean, we had the same kind of, that would have been size. We've been not, at that time, not super big, and but that fell through, and we became Riverside, and we voted. It was going to be the East Side Eagles, red, white, and blue, or the Riverside Rebels, maroon and gray, and it came up with the Riverside Rebels.
So let's talk a little bit about your time at Caraway prior to Riverside being formed. I know the background of all those teams, but if somebody wasn't familiar with Caraway, talk a little bit about the rivalries and some of your memories from early on.
Well, Gerald Jennings, who was my first superintendent, who's the guy that hired me. I was fresh out of college, and hadn't been assistant anywhere or anything. I don't know that I recommend that to anybody, but I mean, I jumped in the water, and he was great. He's the best boss I've ever had. Just took care of me. I'm sure he got so many complaints that I never even heard about him. He just took care of them. But when he hired me, I actually had to ask him. I didn't really know how to get to Caraway, and my dad told me. And he said, "I remember going to Caraway when they had board sidewalks. And it was a hopping place. It was kind of one of the places to be. They had a movie theater. They had a movie theater there. Had one in Black Oak, and this is way back.
Yeah,
and they didn't have that when we moved down there, but it was still quite a bit happening. And we went there in '75, and I remember sitting down talking to Mr. Jennings. He said, "Now you can lose a lot of them, but said if you can just beat Lake City and Monette a few times, said you can coach here forever." and it was a rival. I mean, it was. But it's funny because Neil Abel was at Monette for some of that time, and he was probably the guy I leaned on and talked to the most and helped me. And like I said, that we were big rivals, but Neil was super to me, just a super good guy. Went on and coached. I think he coached golf at ASU, and you may not remember him, but
I remember the name. Yeah,
and he was a very good coach, and just he helped me a lot. Took me under his wing. Ronnie Brogdon, he was coaching at Westside then when I got that job, and he helped me a lot. Bill Cossey, and just there was a lot of them that just. Most of my stuff, nothing's hardly original anymore in basketball. We steal it from somebody. So,
right.
And I was sure not too proud to call and ask them. So, and it was a great, and it was huge. The rivalries. I mean, it was a big deal.
So, Caraway, Lake City, you said they were big rivals. We fast forward now to '85 when Riverside's formed. How did that work with 2 rival schools having to come together?
Well, we knew it's possible because Leachville and Monette had just done it, the year before.
Right.
That was like two bulls in a china closet. So it was really pretty smooth too. Honestly, once again, the kids handled it better than a lot of times the parents. I'd had some parents come up and say, "Coach, how many kids you got from Caraway?" I said, "Man, I don't know. I don't even think about it." I said, "I don't care where they're from. They can be from Goobertown. I don't care where. If they can play, they're going to play. I don't keep a count on who's from Caraway and who's from Lake City." But that went on for a little while. But after a while, it settled down, and there's always going to be some friction, and where it's going to be built, and what you're going to do here and there, but if you think it's for the betterment of the kids, and we've got nice facilities, and but it's. Like I said, the 2 I've been through, really 3. I don't know that you'd call Herman and Bono a consolidation, but the others, they've actually been pretty smooth.
Yeah.
You know, and I was, like I said, I did one as a student and the other one as a faculty member, and you know, it's a little touchy sometimes because when you put the two together, you got to most of the time eliminate some positions, and that was kind of touch and go. But I think it was for the betterment of the kids.
Coach, talk to me about the NEA and tournament. You know, I looked up did some research on it, and from what I found, it's the second longest running tournament in the country that's not a state tournament or, you know, a regional or something like that. Talk about how important it is to NEA basketball. Well,
I mean, I think it's the highlight of NEA basketball every year. I remember when I was a kid, you know, coming to the NEA tournament. I mean, and when my kids were growing up, we'd get, you know, Christmas. I had 3 daughters, and they'd get new outfits and stuff to wear, you know, they said, we're going to this to the NEA tournament. I mean, it was just a tradition, and I don't think there's any doubt it's the best high school tournament in the state of Arkansas. You can go anywhere you want to, and when we get to the semifinals and finals, you're not going to play in front of a bigger crowd in a tournament in the state of Arkansas. And people say, you know, people keep saying, well, what's wrong with it? You know, like the NEA tournament's going downhill. It's as strong as ever. If you were there last year in the semifinals and finals, great crowds. And it's a small school tournament. I mean, and we have some of the large schools, but, you know, there's been a push a few times to make it, you know, bring people in from out of state and this, and we've resisted that and said, hey, it's a small school tournament. It's the NEA tournament.
Yeah.
And that's the way we want to keep it. I just think I can't imagine NEA Northeast Arkansas basketball without it.
Yeah, it's almost like it's not Christmas time if you don't have it.
People,
you know?
Build their holidays. Some of them take their vacation days, you know, to come out there. So.
I mean, all 3 years that I got to play in it, I have a Christmas birthday. I'm born the day after Christmas, so I played on my birthday every year. You know, it was just kind of a rite of passage. I'm glad you brought up the small school aspect of it, because from all the years that I've been affiliated with the tournament, either as a kid or, you know, playing or just a spectator, it always seems like that, you know, some of the bigger teams may come and go, but the backbone of the tournament was kind of the smaller schools.
Well, the kids, they want to come play on that floor. They want to come to ASU and play on that floor. And that's a big thing for them. And like you said, that they're still kids just like me. They've grown up on the NEA tournament, and they're small, and I got grandkids now. They've been going to the NEA tournament. They're 5 years old. They've been going since they were born. Yeah. You know, and I'm sure they're going to want to play there. And that's what keeps it alive. And people want to see BIC and Riverside play. They don't care anything about seeing somebody from Mississippi play somebody from Northwest Arkansas.
Right.
I mean, I think that's what makes it unique. And you won't find anybody a bigger supporter of the NEA tournament than me.
Any favorite memories from either coaching or playing in it?
Oh yeah, when I was a junior, we played Searcy, and I went to high school at Westside, and we played Searcy. Lonnie Weber, who went on and played at ASU, he played for Searcy, and I think this was the overall, they were ranked number 1 in the state, and we were ranked number 4.
Oh wow!
And we played them in the semifinals, and they got us, but it was a good, really, really good ball game. So as a player, that was probably the highlight. And as a coach, when we first won it in 1980 at Caraway, it was Ricky Waters in that group. That was a big deal. And then we won it twice here at Riverside, had a chance for a three-peat, and got beat in the third game. That was a big one. We had a huge win against BIC when Brooks Taylor was playing, and he was trying to set a record, and we held him to 1 point. And that was a big highlight. We also had a game where Zach Reynolds was playing, and we were playing Marmaduke. And I think we got down to 4 players with like 2 minutes left in regulation, and we went 2 overtimes. Wow. And they beat us at the end. An official missed a call. It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
he called us out of bounds, and we were not out of bounds. And we were gonna ice it. I mean, they were gonna foul him, and I think he scored 41 or 42. But we had 4 guys against 5, and that was a great memory. But and then. Just being there with my parents have both been inducted as fans, you know, in the Hall of Honor, and that was a big deal because they love the NEA tournament, and it's just been a big deal for my family and many families throughout Northeast Arkansas.
So, Coach, you talked about when getting ready to name the court coming up Friday night. Been talking to former players, you know, trying to get people to come back and stuff. I've got a video here of some people that wanted to say something to you. So I'm going to hand this to you. You can just hit play right there, and then hopefully the volume's up and we can.
Hey, Coach Campbell, I'm here to congratulate you on your 1,000 wins. I'm so proud of you, and it's been an honor for you to be my mentor and coach beside you. And we are so excited for your 1,000 wins. You are a legend. You're up there with Coach K, Pat Summit, and Gino. And Pioneer Nation would like to congratulate you on your 1,000 wins!
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on reaching 1,000 wins. What an incredible milestone. And it certainly puts you on a short list that not many can claim to be on. It's also a testament to your commitment over the years to winning and your ability to get your teams to play hard, to never back down, to leave it all on the floor. We knew you expected nothing less, or else we would hear about it. Coach, I am proud to say that I played for you and got to experience some of those wins with you. I hope that you can enjoy this moment, this accomplishment for what it is, and can soak it all in. Very well deserved.
What's up, Coach? Congratulations on your 1,000th win. I'm very proud of you, and I know this is a huge milestone that you've been looking forward to for several years now. I can't tell you what kind of mentor you were to me. I mean, I'll never forget, coming into your office junior year and me and you just having a conversation about, being a Bulldog and never settling and never backing down from anything or anyone or any challenge that we may face. And that I still carry that with me today. I mean, I think about that conversation all the time, especially right before I go out there and pitch. But yeah, I'm so proud of you, Coach, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me and my family and the kind of mentor you were to us. So thank you, and congratulations on your 1,000th win. You definitely deserve it, Coach.
Coach, congratulations on 1,000 wins. That's mind-boggling, and I'm just excited to get to come to work with you every day. You know how I feel about you. I've been on both sides of it as a player playing for you and as a coach working with you, and on both sides of it I feel blessed to be a part of it. You are such a big inspiration for me, and I'm truly honored and blessed to work with you. Coach, again, congratulations on 1,000 wins.
Congratulations to Coach Campbell on his 1,000th victory. I've been here 30 years, and I know how hard he's worked, and it is a great accomplishment. I think he's the 7th coach ever in Arkansas to accomplish this feat. It's been a blessing to work with him. It's been a blessing to work with all the great players that we've had over the years that helped to reach this accomplishment. And it is a tribute to his work ethic. I can honestly say that he comes to work every day and coaches hard every practice, every day. He doesn't miss, and when he's here, he is coaching hard. And that rubs off. The kids respond to that, and they work hard, and I think that's one of the reasons that we've had so much success here is our work ethic and how we prepare for our games. And Coach Campbell is coaching just as hard now as he did the first year that I came in 1996. And so, once again, congratulations, Coach.
Well, Buster, I'm proud to see you get that 1,000th win. I'm glad that there's somebody else in the territory that got one besides me, because a lot of times people think, I don't believe a guy can win 1,000 games in his career. But since you have too, that proves that you can. And one thing you have to do, you have to coach about 50 years, and you have to be good for about 50 years to win 1,000 games. But if you win 1,000 games, you've got to coach 50 years, and they won't let you coach 50 years unless you do a good job. So I'm really proud of you. I remember Buster from when he was playing at Westside, when he was a senior in high school. We played him, and I was coaching at Bay at the time. So I remember Buster from his playing days and from his early coaching career at Caraway, and I played him when I was at Bay when he was at Caraway. And then he went to Riverside for 50 years, and I played him off and on, not in the regular season much, but in the NEA tournament and in the regional tournaments. And I always enjoyed playing Buster's team. Not that he was hard to beat, not that he was easy to beat or anything, but he played the same way I did. We just both like to get up and down the floor, and they always were real interesting ball games. And I enjoyed working with him. And then after now that I'm on the NEA tournament executive committee with Buster, and we've actually become better friends in the last 10 or 12 years since I got out of coaching, and by working at 4 or 5 meetings a year during the NEA tournament. And I'm just really proud of him, and he's one of the old school guys, and he plays basketball like we did back in the old days, and I'm certainly proud of him. Thank you a lot, Buster.
That was neat. Thank you. You did all that?
I had a little help with it.
Well, appreciate it.
Ryan nice. Fletcher was a big help on helping me get some of these, and then I had.
This be where we can.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And then I had your daughter Katie sign off on it before I brought it to you tonight, make sure that it was going to be all right. So.
Yeah, that was neat. That was neat.
That Coach, that just kind of speaks to the impact that you've had over your career, 50 years. And, we had everybody, had several different people from several different areas there. I mean, you had a Major League Baseball pitcher, and, you had Morgan Gilbert, is one of the other guys that has hit 1,000 wins in the state.
Morgan's done something that will never be done again, though, the 1,000 wins in basketball and 1,000 wins in baseball. I mean, I don't think that won't happen again.
No, I don't know that we'll ever see anything like that again. And I've been researching some things and talking with some other people, and I'm like, I don't know that we'll ever see anybody that coaches long enough to win 1,000 games again.
And the one thing I'm proud of is one school.
Yeah,
same place.
Yeah, So this is 50th year we've talked about that, and it looks like it might be the last here at Riverside.
Well, yeah, I guess I was offered early retirement, but they, last April, the superintendent called me in and notified me that they were going to let me coach one more year, and then after that they wouldn't renew my contract. So unless something changes, this will be it. I don't really need to get into. I don't really know what's going on, or what happened, or I didn't do anything stupid or anything bad wrong. People think that I've done something, but guess I wore out my welcome. But maybe they don't think. I thought we were still doing pretty good. We won the conference 2 years in a row, but that's where we're at right now. So yeah, this is probably going to be it.
So, have you thought about after basketball?
A little bit. It's kind of scary for my wife and I both. She's worked. I mean, she's been at 47 years, I think. She was off a couple of years when we had some of the kids were little, and so she's been with me. And we worked. Now the first 3 years she worked at Lepanto, and didn't have a job at Caraway, and so she worked at Lepanto. But she's been with us, and it's kind of another step in life that we got grandkids. So we got 28-year-old, and then 4 that are under the age of 5, and I'll soon have 5 in January. So, that's going to keep us busy, but it's kind of scary for both of us. It's been especially with the way this happened, it's been kind of a tough year. But we'll get through it, and we'll see what happens, what the future holds. I mean, we've got each other, and we got great supportive family, and I'm sure we're going to spend a lot more time with the grandkids, and it's going to be different. But I mean, everybody goes through it, and everybody faces it. So I'm sure we can handle it. We've handled lots of things down through the years, some ups and downs. So we can handle this one.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, you'll hit this head on the same way you have coaching your entire career, and
I hope so.
That tells me that you guys are going to be just fine with this, and I'll probably see more of you because my kids are at Westside, and I know that's where some of your grands
I got
are.
A little grandson at Westside, a little warrior, and I got Christy is my oldest, and she's a nurse practitioner at NEA clinic, and she's got the 28-year-old, and she was the first one. And sometimes we forget when we talk about her grandkids now. She'll remind me. She still calls me Papa. She's 28 years old, but she's a sweetie, and she was the first one. And then now all these others. Katie's got a little boy and a little girl, and Kylie, who lives in Bolivar, Tennessee, 2.5 hours, but we can get over there pretty often.
Yeah.
And she's got a little boy and a little girl, and Katie's expecting a surprise. They don't want to know. She's having one in January, so we'll soon have 5 under the age of 5, and that's the greatest thing in the world is grandkids.
Yeah, it's it's kind of funny because I give my parents a hard time all the time because I'm like, y'all are not the same people that raised me.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh yeah, they've told me a couple of times, Dad, if you don't do this or that, you're going to lose your privileges. I said, yeah, let's see how that works out.
Yeah.
But they're the best, and like I said, my wife, she's been so super supportive. And my whole family, all my brothers and sisters, and got aunts and uncles, and just everywhere they've. I think a whole lot of them are going to be here, Friday night, and I'm really looking forward to that. And it's like you said, to do what I've done, it takes a village, and that's an often overused phrase maybe, but it really does. I mean, I couldn't have done it without them. I mean, it's just not possible. And I'm really blessed to have had the opportunity. These people that have let me coach their kids, because I've been hard on them, but I think they know I love them. I think they know I've got their concern, but I mean, I want them to get better. And I think kids respect that. They know when you care for them. They do. They feel that. And even though, like I said, if they take a vote after some of the practices, I'd be 15 to old to fire him, but we'll get by.
So last question, and then we'll wrap things up here, Coach. If there was a young coach just now getting his feet wet and just getting started, what's the one piece of advice you'd give him?
Oh, it'd be a lot of pieces. You got to be yourself. There's all kinds of stuff out there. You don't have to go to clinics anymore. You can get on the internet, and I'm a big proponent of clinics. You go and you listen to these guys, and experience is worth a lot. But you got to be yourself. You got to find your niche. You can go to those clinics, and you need to get some ideas. Get some ideas from this guy. Get some ideas from this guy. And some things, I've been around some coaches. I learned some good things from them, and I learned some things I didn't think I should do. But just be yourself and be honest. Don't let them push you around. I mean, you got to stand your ground and just love it. If you don't love it, get out, because it's not going to work. I mean, I think you got to be dedicated, and those kids have got to know you love them and that you'll stick up for them. And I mean, I tell my kids, I say, no, look, I may blow some smoke at the interviews or some of the newspaper guys or the TV guys, and I may tell them this and that, but I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
When we're fixing to play somebody, I think I might be a little different than some coaches in that respect, because I try to shoot them straight. I mean, they know when you're fluffing it. I mean, they know when the team you're playing, you maybe should win by 20.
Yeah.
And you're not going to fool them and say, hey guys, we got to play. Just say, hey, look. But we got to do it. We still got to do it. So just be honest, and like I said, be yourself, and be a good guy. Teach them responsibility and how to be a good person, and hopefully we can make some of these guys, good contributing members of society.
There you go. Well, I imagine we'll have quite a few of those here Friday night when they officially name it Buster Campbell Court. And in my opinion, and I'm an outsider, I don't have any ties to Riverside, but in my opinion, naming the court is great, because this facility that we're in right now is beautiful, and without Buster Campbell, this facility doesn't get built.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, I'm tickled, and I'm ready to get off that 1,000 win. I'm ready for 1,001. We played 2 games since then. We hadn't won one, so I don't know if that's a signal or what, but I'm ready to get on to 1,001 and see if we can't get a few more tacked on.
Yeah, I think you've got several more lined up in front of you this year. Coach, I wish you the best of luck this season, and hopefully we can work it out to where the Rebels finish their season down in Hot Springs.
Well, that'd be great, Marcus, and I appreciate you and appreciate the support you guys give to and keeping high school basketball and the small schools in the spotlight.